Welcome. Adam Goldfein here with you. 7 minutes after 2 o'clock, 58 degrees on Peachtree Street. New Year's Eve is coming up. It's going to be a wonderful time. Hopefully everybody is looking forward to 2015. Give you an opportunity to kind of reset your goals. Think about what you're going to accomplish, how you're going to improve your life, and have a more fulfilled year, hopefully. A little more success, a little more health. All right? Let's hope, though, that 2015 doesn't start in a tragic way. One of my concerns, a little pet concern, is that if you look back, let's say last year, there were, in Georgia alone, 1,143 motor vehicle accidents on that night. New Year's Eve last year. 684 injuries and 18 deaths. 18 people lost their lives due to drunk driving on New Year's Eve. Now, we have in studio with us William Bubba Head, who is, in my opinion, the nation's leading expert on criminal defense for driving under the influence. He's an attorney here in Atlanta, but does cases nationwide, is really called upon to represent individuals as well as some of the most influential and well-known people in the country when they get caught up in this type of situation. And my goal today is to try to make you aware of the consequences and hopefully make you stop and think. Go enjoy yourself. Have a great New Year's. Don't drive under the influence. And it's not just New Year's. This is just the time maybe I can get the message through. I mean, I think that it's the opportunity to stop you and say, listen, really, if you're going to go out and you're going to go have a glass of wine or a bottle of wine or go enjoy yourself, great. Take a cab. Have someone else drive. Do it responsibly so you don't get caught up in the consequences of God forbid, killing somebody. And Bubba, I'll ask you, starting that way, because we were talking in the last hour about some of the things to do, let's say, at a field sobriety stop or if you get pulled over. But I want to talk to you about the human side.
Okay.
And you mentioned to me that you had clients that have succumbed to the stress and the embarrassment of being arrested that have actually committed suicide in your 30-plus years of practice.
Right.
And I also know that you have seen and you have represented individuals who have injured as well as killed people.
Correct.
Can you share, just put it in perspective so people can understand how severe, how serious a consequence of just a fact pattern, no names, right? I don't want to embarrass anybody, but I want to use a fact pattern. If somebody were saying, well, is it really a big deal? Or do bad things really happen? Give me a story.
Well, anytime somebody dies in a vehicle accident, it's hardly ever an intentional crime. It's always a non-intentional crime, but by committing a serious traffic offense like DUI, it escalates to a felony, and that's where the penalties come in. But more so if it's somebody you know, which is your best friend, which often it is somebody in your car that perishes. It can be a family member. Those are particularly tough, but those haven't been the cases where the suicides occur. It's been the garden variety DUI cases, just from the stress of waiting for court, waiting for something to happen. Many times people have other things going on in his or her life, but in fact I think all of mine have been male, all 13. The thing of it is that the stress works on people, and especially when they sit and dwell about it. So if we see that starting to happen, we do our best to get the person to a psychiatrist or a psychologist and try to get some help with that, because there's not much we can do about the stress. And so we do everything we can to identify tendencies that are showing that they're dwelling on this way too much.
Okay.
But if it's somebody who's killed their friend, not only does that person lose their best friend, but the families end up not talking to each other. It's very rare that there's any communication. No matter if you grew up with the people or if it's your next door neighbor, there's no communication.
There are stories, though, of folks having children in cars and getting arrested or killing them, their own family members, right? As well as the innocents on the road. Don't forget, it's not just what you're doing, it's them worrying about the other person driving on the road.